And a very happy Wednesday to you at 12:07 in the West. It's the John Phillips Show. Mr. Randy Wangs in Culver City.
John, I have a question. Will the real Katie Porter please stand up? Because somebody is trying to reinvent her image, and it's laying on a little thick. Would you like to hear the latest series of ads from the now soft-spoken Katie Porter?
Please.
Oh, my.
Here is Katie Porter in a video she posted to her YouTube channel, which I am a subscriber of, where she's talking to a home healthcare worker about her struggles.
I think that we are...
Music's too loud.
Well, if the music is loud enough to drown out Katie, it might do her some help.
kind of hidden in a cloud where they don't see that we are real people.
You feel like you're a budget number. We always seem to find the money for some things. And then there are other things.
Who is this Katie Porter? I can't even hear her.
They're trying to make her sound empathetic.
Yes. That's what this series of videos is all about.
That we never quite have the money for. Health care, nursing care.
She's also talking really slowly.
Yeah, what's with the whispering? Whispering only works if you're Richard Dawson and you're half in the bag and you're staring deep into some woman's cleavage.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Health care, nursing care, mental health care.
Okay, I just a theory. Did her campaign staffers put her on Xanax?
It sounds like they shot her with a tranquilizer gun.
Do you see a theme here? And the theme is a lot of this work is done by moms, it's done by grandmas, it's done by women. And
Do you know this Katie Porter? I don't know who this is.
Wait a minute. Did you notice what she just did there too?
What'd she do?
She's a D dropper. She dropped the D in grandma.
And the theme is a lot of this work is done by moms, it's done by grandmas, it's done
Grandmas.
Grandma.
Grammy.
grandmas, it's done by women.
Maybe that's Iowa.
And
I don't know. Karen Bass does it too. She's not from Iowa.
We got a D drop later today.
And over and over and over again.
She is trying so hard to distance herself from the videos that went viral, in a small part thanks to this show, but mostly thanks to Julie Watts over at CBS Sacramento. But she is trying so hard to skid in the other direction. I don't know who's buying this Katie Porter.
No one is buying this Katie Porter. The transition from Katie Porter the monster to Katie Porter the D dropper is a more dramatic transition than Bruce Jenner to Caitlyn.
They just think that someone will keep on doing it for nothing. Part of the reason I'm excited about running for governor and being...
You don't even sound excited in this ad.
Speak up, lady.
Part of the reason I'm excited about running for governor and being able to serve as governor is there's a lot of capacity for California to do better.
You see us.
I hope whoever produced this got paid a lot of money.
Well, I think you have a completely different firm. This is a far cry from the what a bunch of BS ad that she opened her campaign with. I think she has new people.
She must have new people because she hasn't cursed yet.
Now, that was the video posted on the YouTube. I also follow Katie Porter on the Instas. And this video showed up just a few minutes ago.
I don't want you to think about this process as picking a candidate.
Candidate?
She's dropping D, she's adding vowels. What's going on here?
Couldn't have done a second take on this one, huh?
I don't want you to think about this process as picking a candidate.
What is a
Okay,
candidate?
if you're the director and you scream cut and you tell her to do it over again, do you want to be on the receiving end of that wrath?
Please. I want you to think about it as picking a partner. So if people are not spending time listening to you now, they should.
Uh-oh. Katie's coming back.
She wants us to think about this as picking a partner, huh?
Yes.
Okay, if I was a lesbian, she'd be last on my list.
Now, they sure aren't.
Oh!
Whoa!
Katie Porter. Excuse me. I figured that this was a produced ad that wouldn't have cursing in it, but we cursed ourselves by talking about the fact that she wasn't cursing anymore.
She can only go so long without cursing, even when she's trying to be nice.
Okay, let me just duck this down for a second. Talk amongst yourself. I got to make sure I got this clean.
So just in case you're listening on the radio and you're wondering why it skipped for no reason, we're playing the Katie Porter sound, and she cursed in an ad where she's trying to come across as empathetic and nice.
They sure as going to spend the time when they're elected.
Yeah, if empathy is what she's trying to put across, I don't know if that's working with the cursing.
So is that the real Katie Porter, the empathetic, the one on the listening tour, the one talking to the home health care worker, the one talking to the auto workers about their struggles without ever offering any solutions for what she'd do? John, is that the real Katie Porter, or is the real Katie Porter the one that talked to Julie Watts 2 months ago?
You don't have an
But
experience.
you just said you don't need those Trump voters.
Well, you asked me if I needed them to win.
So you don't
I
think
feel
you
like
need
this
them
is
to win.
unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
That's the real Katie Porter.
The question is the same thing I asked everybody, that this is being called the empowering voters to stop Trump's power grab. Every other candidate has answered this question. This is not
Correct. And I said I support it.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't understand.
Did she start banging the table?
Yes, she did.
That I don't understand. I'm happy to answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And
This is not a hard interview.
No, it's not. But this is an authentic interview. This is who she is.
This is the real Katie Porter.
And we've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that
Well, to those voters. Okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it.
She moved on from the pounding to the clapping.
Done with it.
Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
What happened to the whispering, Katie?
Every other candidate has answered
I don't
our
care.
follow-ups.
I don't care.
She slapped again.
Are we coming up on the mob boss portion?
I don't care. I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation in which you ask me about every issue on this list. And if every question you're going to make up a follow-up question, then we're never going to get there.
Ms.
And we're
Porter,
just going to circle around.
I am an investigative
I have never had to do
reporter.
this before, ever.
For some reason, I doubt that.
Well, she doesn't do a lot of local TV. She does a lot of national TV where she gets fawned all over because of the whiteboard and the minivan.
No, but leaving a meeting in a fit of rage? Are you kidding me? I'm supposed to believe this is the first time that's happened?
Good point.
You've never had to have a
end an
conversation
interview.
with
To end
a
an
reporter?
interview.
Okay, but every other candidate has done this.
What part of I'm me? I'm running for governor because I'm a leader.
So that sounds a little more like the Katie Porter we know.
Oh, that's our Katie.
Then, of course, there was the Katie Porter from 2021 on the Zoom call.
That we're going to lose more than
I did bleep this one.
500,000 Californians dying prematurely to air pollution and other problems, and the state could lose. Get out of my shot.
That is the authentic Katie.
And then let's go back on the campaign trail, but last year's campaign trail. Is this the real Katie Porter? The one that invited Fox 40's Eitan Wallace into her house.
So with that, it's on the road to Katie Porter's home.
Knock, knock, knock.
This is the famous Porter residence.
This is it. Come on.
The subsidized housing.
You think she's baking cookies in there? What do you think's going on?
This is it. Come on in. Hi, Betsy. Come on, say hi. This
Hey,
is
Betsy,
Eitan.
how are you? Good to see
how are you?
Good, thank you for having us.
Porter's 11.
This isn't staged at all.
Not even a little bit. That exercise bike in the kitchen, that's always been there.
Porter's 11-year-old daughter, Betsy, took over her mom's famous whiteboard for a very good reason.
So I wrote down all the Taylor Swift albums.
Sure you did.
How many times do you think they rehearsed that?
In order, and then I made a heart of all hearts.
Did they hire someone to be a stand-in for Eitan Wallace so they know exactly what to do?
Well, if they did, I hope they're paying that guy above scale.
In order, and then I made a heart of all hearts.
Taylor Swift, what's your favorite song?
All of them.
Nobody says that.
No, that's like Sarah Palin's answer when she was asked, what newspapers do you read?
All right, do you have a favorite album?
Probably like folklore right now.
Okay.
She's in her folklore. Wouldn't you say, Betsy, right now you're in your folklore era?
Yeah.
When Kevin
Oh, boy. Is this the real Katie Porter?
When Kevin McCarthy and Matt Getz was filing to get rid of the speaker, I used the Taylor Swift lyric, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Aren't you clever?
And she mispronounced his name, too.
Which song?
Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince.
Album?
Lover.
There you
Wow.
go. So we are fans. We are fans.
This is where
It did not get her the Senate chair. Can you believe it?
Hard to believe.
The Swifties did not come out for Katie. They didn't come out in the primary at all.
Congressmember Porter turns into Mom Porter.
Yeah, the whole space here, yeah. There was just some frantic putting away of remote controls and gaming devices that belong to teenage boys.
How many of them were thrown at the wall?
Remote controls? Are you kidding me? How many bags of Cheetos do you think she stuffed in the couch?
Before you rang the doorbell. So, yes. People are always like, well, go to your home office. And I'm always like, ta-da! This is my home office. My kitchen, which is squeezed next to my exercise bike, which is...
Who is believing that? Who?
The exercise bike does look brand new in the video.
The only person I can imagine legitimately having an exercise bike in the kitchen is the professor on Gilligan's Island, because that's what powers the device to beat the eggs.
which is squeezed next to my exercise bike, which is squeezed next to my knife block. So it's not a particularly private space, and so we get.
Wait, are you complaining about the size of your free house?
Yeah, the rest of us pay for that, Katie.
And so we get a lot of people walking through it while I'm doing stuff.
And by a lot of people, you mean
the kids, but they're pretty good about it. I have to say, like they're pretty patient about. Like, I need you to be quiet for 10 minutes.
What do they think when you are...
How many times has she told Paul to get out of her bleeping shot?
Oh, can you imagine the string of expletives that comes out of her mouth when Paul walks into her shot?
What do they think when you are holding some of your most famous moments from right in this area?
They don't care. They're just kids. I mean, first and foremost, I'm their mom. At the end of the day, like, they're much more concerned about whether or not I remembered to sign their permission slip or, you know, what.
This doesn't sound phony at all.
Not even a little bit.
You know, what we're having for dinner, or did I, buy their dance ticket, and what time's their water polo game.
Her minivan says it all.
This is the best campaign home visit of any campaign in California history. Nothing will outdo this thing.
This is like a Saturday Night Live skit.
This job is hard. And for me, this plate is a little bit of fun. It's a little bit of a reminder that, like, of who you are.
You know, her oversight plate. Because, you know, got to have those vanity plates on the minivan.
Do you think she has a sticker of the little kid peeing on something?
Calvin.
4:22, and I don't know what I'm making tonight. So even as you're asking me about, like, do I want to run for president, I'm actually thinking about, like, am I going to be able to prep something for dinner by 6 o'clock, or am I going to have to give up and order pizza?
I don't think he asked you if you wanted to run for president.
I do believe that she was thinking about pizza.
Like, honestly, that's what's happening in the back of my mind. All right, let's carve some pumpkins. Careful, I have the knives. Paul!
There it is! There it is, everybody.
If you were wondering what the origins were from that clip, there you have it.
All right, let's carve some pumpkins. Careful, I have the knives. Paul!
Is that the real Katie Porter?
Play that last part one more time.
Like, honestly, that's what's happening in the back of my mind. All right, let's carve some pumpkins. Careful, I have the knives. Paul!
All right, now that they're trying to make her nice and empathetic, let me tell you what's going to happen. At some point, the real Katie is coming back, and she's coming back with a vengeance. Because you can't change nature. You can't change DNA. You can't change biology. You can't change chemistry. And she is what she is. So you can hire all the consultants in the world you want to put an apron on her and have her bake cookies and carve pumpkins. But let me tell you, old Katie isn't going away forever. She's sitting in the back of that minivan waiting to jump back in. It's like standing on a garden hose with the water on. You've seen that in the cartoons before, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. It keeps growing and growing and growing.
Until what happens?
It blows up.
So they're going to have her be as nice as she can for as long as she can. But when she blows, let me tell you, she's going to be back behind the wheel of that minivan, and she's going to run a bus full of special ed kids right off a cliff.
All right, let's carve some pumpkins. Careful, I have the knives. Paul!
800-222-5222 is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. If you'd like to email the show, you can do so at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. And Randy, if you want to send that monologue to all your friends and family later today, that's easy to do.
All you got to do after about 1:05 is search for The John Phillips Show wherever you get your podcasts.
Little D.
Apple Podcast app.
No!
Spotify.
Paul!
iHeart. Search for The John Phillips Show wherever you get your podcasts and send that episode to all your friends.
Like, please!
800-222-5222 is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. And Randy, what do you say we make a couple of listeners very happy?
Okay, this is the big one. Get ready. It's a huge tour. 790 KABC welcomes Guns N' Roses, the World Tour 2026 to the Rose Bowl, September 5th, 2026. Tickets are on sale Friday at Ticketmaster.com, but right now, caller number 9 at 1-888-790-5222 gets a pair of tickets to the show. Tickets furnished by Live Nation. Good luck dialing.
Now, wait a minute. Guns N' Roses is going to play at the Rose Bowl?
Yes, this is correct.
Now, what's next? Are they going to play at the Rose Garden in Portland or the Rosemont Horizon in Illinois?
Maybe both.
You never know. All right. We know that the government has done no favors for the fire victims in the Pacific Palisades or in Altadena. And this week is no different.
This week, the LA City Council delayed a vote that would waive construction fees for people trying to rebuild their homes that were burnt down in the fire. For more on this, we go to a report from Fox 11 in Los Angeles.
New tonight, anger and heartbreak at a Los Angeles City Council meeting. Palisades fire victims were in tears as the council delayed a vote to waive construction fees almost 11 months after that deadly fire.
What has the City Council been doing for the past 11 months?
That's a good question.
Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf, he's live there in the Palisades, and you spoke with residents who were very emotional tonight. Matthew?
Yeah, very emotional. This decision could mean the difference between tens of thousands of dollars and whether or not they decide to rebuild or move on. And tonight, they're still waiting.
Somebody pays it. It's going to be the taxpayer.
The LA City Council again delaying a decision on what reconstruction fees to waive in Pacific Palisades, with dozens of fire victims in City Hall watching in tears.
Sobbing, actually. It was so devastating to see how incompetent our city is.
What kind of complete idiot do you have to be sitting on that council and say to yourself, you know what we've done in this town? We've given the fire victims too many breaks. It's been nothing but green lights for those people.
January's Palisades fire left roughly 7,000 buildings in ashes. In April, the mayor called for a hold on reconstruction fees, but now, almost 11 months after the flames, the city council still hasn't made a decision.
Seriously?
15 of those geniuses, and they can't make a decision.
They want to nitpick and penny pinch people who have gone through the worst, most devastating wildfire in our history.
Especially as we're starting to see more and more evidence that while they want to blame this on the arsonists, it sure looks like the locals and the state are responsible for that destruction.
No kidding. If there's any group of people that you should be bending over backwards to help, it's the fire victims. But of course, it's Los Angeles, so we can't do that.
Both reports will have a major fiscal impact.
Council members now weighing two possible plans, one costing the city an estimated $86 million, waiving fees for single-family home rebuilds.
Commitments were made.
And Councilmember Tracy Park's roughly $280 million proposal, a full waiver for homes, businesses, and apartments.
You know, rebuilding what was burnt down.
Well, this is what's stupid about the government here in California. All of a sudden, they're penny pinchers. All of a sudden, they're budget hawks. All of a sudden, they're concerned about spending more than what we have. Up until now, there wasn't a program that they weren't willing to fund. Hell, I think these people have given sex change operations to half of Guatemala. We can do that, but we can't take care of these people?
This is the same city council that approved Karen Bass's $880 million a year plan to keep homeless people in motels. And that's only a small portion of the homeless.
And how's that working out for us?
It's not working out great.
Maybe it'll be enough to convince an apartment owner to rebuild.
We don't get to magically waive it. We can only pay it.
They think that we're asking for handouts, but we pay taxes. You should be coming here and helping us.
I wonder how many Palisades residents went to that meeting and were so disillusioned that they started Zillow scrolling in Orange County.
Well, I know it's very difficult to sue the government under just about any circumstances. I hope these people bankrupt the city and they bankrupt the state because they're responsible for their homes burning down. Their inability to figure out whose responsibility it is to put the fire out fully caused this to happen. Yes, the arsonist committed the original sin by starting the fire, but the firefighters told their superiors that the fire wasn't fully put out. And the city and the state got involved in a Richard measuring contest that resulted in the fire not fully being extinguished. And that's when the Palisades burned down. If there's any time where a plaintiff's lawsuit is warranted, it's this time.
Fire victims caught in the middle of a city budget crisis with their lives in the balance.
The more friction that they put up against this town for rebuilding, the harder it makes everybody.
Now waiting on.
By the way, it's so short-sighted as well. If you continue to chase these people away, that's a massive tax base that you are sending to other cities and other counties.
I'm telling you, and I know this is not what people want to hear because no one wants to be chased from their home, especially by government incompetence and arson. If your home burned down in that fire, it will be much healthier for you to move on. Go to Orange County. Go to some other city in Los Angeles County. Go to some other place. Because if you are hell-bent on rebuilding, this nightmare is never going to end.
now waiting almost a year for a decision on fees and if they can afford to rebuild.
We did not ask for this fire. We just want to rebuild. We're not looking for anything fancy. We're looking for the city to stand up and do their part.
So now this goes to another budget committee meeting before it goes back to the LA City Council for a vote. No word when that could take place. Reporting live tonight, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
You know, Shangy was wrong about a lot of things in her career as mayor of Oakland, but she was right about one thing, and it's true in the Bay and it's true in Southern California.
The bureaucracy is real.
What's wild is that the government is trying to portray themselves as the victim here. Whether it's Karen Bass or Gavin Newsom, they're saying that all of this happened as a result of climate change and there is nothing that they could have done to stop it, when in fact that is a provably false statement. And the people who are suffering the most, the homeowners in those areas, the residents of those areas, are the ones who are trying to rebuild their lives in the face of these lies. And unfortunately, when it comes to pure raw politics, they don't matter. And I know that's tough to hear, but it's true. When you think of the size of the city of Los Angeles or the state of California, and you look at how many people were displaced in that fire, they represent less than 1% of the city and far less than that of the state. This is a tiny, tiny, tiny percentage of the population. And then when you factor in that many of them no longer even live in Los Angeles, they moved to a different city, they moved to a different county, they moved to a different state, they're someplace else, they don't even get to vote in these elections anymore. So they are reliant on the goodwill of the city to make this right. And the city and the state has no interest in that. Their interest is to make sure that no one blames them. So they're trying to turn this into a political partisan issue by saying it's global warming and then blaming Donald Trump or blaming the corporations or blaming capitalism or whoever it is that they feel is responsible for this. And if people buy into that narrative, then they don't pay attention to what actually caused this to happen, which is their own incompetence. I'm telling you, if you're one of these fire victims, this nightmare is never going to end. It's just not. And I hate to say that because you've been through a lot, and I'm sure you're hungry for optimism. These people are not going to get any better at their jobs. They're just not. They're not capable of it. What's the saying that if you're a teacher and you're given tenure, the level at which you are performing when you were given your tenure is defined as the level of competence for that job. So if you were incompetent when they gave you tenure, that's the base. That's what they have to compare it to if your performance either gets better or gets worse at some point in the future. What the government did during these fires is their level of competence. They're not capable of doing any better than that. If you want the government to behave better, you have to change the people who sit in those seats. You have to change the mayor, you have to change the council, you have to change the governor. That's the only way it's going to get better. If you're expecting these people to see the light, that's not going to happen. 800-222-5222 is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. The Fix California Hour coming up after the news at 1. Mike Netter joins us. Let's go to the phones and welcome Richard in San Jose. Richard, hello.
Hey, John, I just want to thank you for standing up and speaking the obvious. These people in California that are running the state are trying to run it in the ground, and they're doing a very good job. And what you said about them suing, a class action lawsuit should happen. Absolutely. Get the finest civil high case lawyer you can find and just sue them and bankrupt them.
Well, what's funny is while Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass are blaming climate change, anyone who's paying attention to this fire knows exactly what happened. It started with an arsonist, and then the state and the city got into a fight over who had jurisdiction, and they allowed a fire that wasn't fully extinguished to reignite and burn down the Palisades. They are at fault. The arsonist is at fault. The blame can be placed on the shoulders of a combination of the arsonist, the city, and the state. And we know that they were aware of this information because the firefighters on the line are on the record saying that that is exactly what they told their superiors. And the superiors told them to leave the job anyway. These people who live there lost everything they own. Because when your home burns down, it's not just an asset that you have that's part of your portfolio. It's every stitch of clothes that you have. It's the baby pictures. It's the toothbrush. It's everything. These people had their lives turned upside down. Many of them are still in temporary housing now. They're living in Airbnbs, or they're living in hotels, or they're couch surfing with friends, whatever. And the city could care less. The only thing that they care about is that they don't take it politically on the chin, which is why they're blaming climate change. I'm with you, and I'm not generally one that supports massive lawsuits because I think that a lot of attorneys out there are unethical. I think a lot of them are looking to blame people who really didn't have much to do with whatever it is that's the problem. But in this particular case, a lawsuit, and not just a lawsuit, but a massive one, is warranted because the city and the state and the arsonist are responsible for this, and they should pay. Maybe politically the electorate will believe it was climate change, but I think 12 people on a jury, if you put the facts in front of them, will see it a different way.
Yeah, I think too, this whole business of hiding behind climate change, that's the same mantra you always hear in all these blue states, and it's all nothing more than garbage science. It's backed by nothing.
All right. Thank you for the call, sir. Let's go to Cardi in Lancaster. Cardi, hello.
Hey, how you doing, John? Hey, Randy.
Good.
So bear with me. Number one, we know our city council are nothing but a bunch of corrupt buffoons and baboons. And keep voting blue, and this is what's going to happen, John. Number two, climate change. Oh, my God. Please, if you believe that, you'll believe anything. Number three, quit voting and get in some people that are competent. And my theory is they didn't vote to give these poor people the permit so they didn't have to pay anything because I think they have an agenda. You know, let's just have them give up. We'll build affordable housing for the poor and the people that can't afford it and, you know, people of all colors, the people that didn't work hard like the people that did to buy there and build 50, 60, 70 years ago, John. There you go.
All right. Thank you for the call, sir. Let's go to Robert in Santa Clara. Robert, hello.
Yeah, it's the left-wing industrial liberal, industrial complex. It's also, of course, that's for the homeless. They got a virtue signal to keep these confiscatory taxes and the boot on the neck of the middle class, to grind them out, have an enterprise of relocating them to other states. While the previous caller says the real workers who earned the equity in their home or first and second, even third homes, used to have a beach house, a ski house, and even the first and second to leave for 4 kids. You can't do that anymore, and that's by design because they want to build LA 2.0 because a lot of these are, dyed in the wool. They think you should only live in a domicile, a lot of us. It's very convenient for them. It's easy to build. They're highly subsidized for the developers. That's good use of the land for some in the idea, the mindset of these guys. But, they're just grinding the middle class. It's so mean to watch, like you said. Lifetimes of families working together to homestead and retire here is being literally dismantled by, death by 1,000 cuts or 3 horrible laws like Prop 19, you name it. The inflation with cap and trade and gas taxes, those are the weapons. And that's how they're grinding us out. We pay more for everything in a restaurant can't even sell food at twice the price and stay open maybe 8 hours a day, maybe 5 days a week. And they don't care. And that's who Newsom is. Newsom got away with that Vistra battery fire, too. No one said anything about all that hydrofluoric acid over all the little chickens and people and breathing in their lungs. The guy is untouchable, and he is the epitome of the deep state of the industrial housing. He's their ultimate shill. Not to say that Bass isn't, and Schiff. Everyone you can name who virtue signals about climate change and helping poor people, they're making bank. And it's time that we replace them with people who are at least centrist-minded, understand we need housing, but not the way they're doing it. They're confiscating people. And it's beyond communism. This stuff wouldn't even go on in other countries. It's only happening in California. We're getting totally ripped off.
All right. Thank you for the call, sir. You know what else is interesting? As the city council is deliberating whether or not they're going to help the fire victims and ultimately decided to do nothing, you notice that nobody seems to care about that $100 million that was raised by the charity to help the fire victims when that money is not going to the fire victims. It's going to politically connected organizations who do everything else but help the fire victims, and the fire victims get nothing. Wouldn't you assume that the big city newspaper in that town would be all over that scandal?
They said nothing to see here.
Wouldn't you assume that the attorney general in that state would be all over this, trying to figure out who was defrauded?
He's too busy with his own lawsuits.
And it's just like they let it happen. They don't care. And whenever Newsom is asked about it, he says, well, it's not my fault. It's not my job. That's not my organization. The only thing that he cares about is that you don't blame him. That is it. The through line is that no one is doing anything to help these people. And that's not going to change, unfortunately.